A very good morning to everyone. So let's begin with today's thought of the day. And just tell me, have you ever had one of those days where everything just flowed? You woke up without feeling rushed. The morning went smoothly. You knew what you were doing. And when work felt manageable, you even had a few quiet minutes to yourself. And by evening, you thought, oh, today was a good day. I should have more days like this. And then the very next morning, chaos. You can't find your keys, breakfast is late, something got forgotten. You are already tired before the day has properly begun. Same person, same life, completely different experience. So, what was different? I'll tell you what was different. And once I tell you, you won't be able to unsee it. Today, we are going to talk about something that the most effective, most calm, most together people in the world quietly rely on. Not talent, not willpower, not even discipline in the way we usually think of it. We are going to talk about systems. So today's session is creating systems that work for you. So let me begin with this opening thought. Successful people don't rely on moods, they rely on systems. So very profound. Please note it down. Successful people don't rely on moods, they rely on systems. So just read that in your mind. Let that sink in. Not motivation, not a good night's sleep, not waiting to feel like doing something, just systems. I want you to imagine a busy crossroad, any crossroads in your city. You know the kind, four roads meeting, vehicles coming from every direction, everyone in a hurry, everyone convinced their side has the right of way. And now imagine that crossroads with no traffic light. What happens? Everyone moves at once. Everyone waits for someone else to go first. There's honking, confusion, minor arguments, and somehow nobody moves efficiently. The very people who were in a rush end up taking longer to get anywhere. And now add the traffic light. Nobody's driving skill changed. The roads didn't widen, the number of vehicles didn't reduce, but suddenly there's order, there's flow. People know when to go, when to wait. Movement becomes smoother, faster, calmer. The traffic light didn't add resources, it added a system. And the system did what no amount of individual effort could. It created consistent, automatic order out of what was previously chaos. So, your life, my friends, is that crossroads. And the question is simply, where are your traffic lights? So, let me give you the three most important things to understand about systems. And I promise none of this will feel abstract. This is all very close to home. One, systems reduce decision fatigue. So, something most people don't realize. Every decision you make, big or small, uses up mental energy. And that energy is not unlimited. It depletes through the day. Let me tell you about Kavita. She is a working woman, a manager at her office, and also the person who runs her household. By the time she gets home in the evening, she has made hundreds of small decisions at work, with colleagues, with family. And then comes the question that finishes her off completely. What do we make for dinner? She stares into the fridge stares back. Now imagine this instead. Kavita has a simple weekly meal system. Monday dal chawal, Tuesday roti sabzi with whatever's in the fridge, Wednesday something light. The specific dishes may vary, but the structure is fixed. Does this make dinner boring? No. Does it make dinner possible even on a tired Tuesday evening? Absolutely yes. That is what a system does. It removes the daily negotiation with your own tired brain. Two, repeatable routines are where the real magic lives. See, Savitri ji is a homemaker and a person who has, by her own admission, been meaning to walk every morning for the past 3 years. She walks enthusiastically for a week in Jan. Then the weather changes, or relative visits, or she simply doesn't feel like it one morning, and the streak breaks, and starting again feels harder each time. But here's the difference between Savitri ji's walking and a system for walking. A system says, every morning, after chai, before the kitchen work begins, shoes go on. 10 minutes only, even 5 on tired days, but every day. The system doesn't ask, do I feel like it? The system says, this is just what happens after chai. And that's the beauty of a routine that becomes a system. It stops being a choice. It becomes an automatic, as brushing your teeth. Nobody wakes up and decides whether to brush their teeth today. They just do it because it's built in. And now, gentlemen, Prakash Bhai. He's a retired school teacher, a man of tremendous knowledge and real intellectual curiosity. He has been saying for 2 years that he wants to stay mentally sharp, read more, maybe even start writing down some of his thoughts and experiences. But here's his current system, and I use the word loosely. He reads when he feels like it. He writes when inspiration strikes. Inspiration, as we all know, is a very unreliable house guest. What Prakash Bhai needs is not inspiration. He needs a morning system. Something like tea at 7, newspaper until 7:30, and then 30 minutes of reading or writing. Same chair, same time, every day. Not when the mood arrives at 7:30 because that's when it happens. Within a month, that chair will call him. The habit will have roots. And three, systems create consistency automatically. Here's the quiet revolution that systems bring. Once they are running, you stop relying on motivation, willpower, or a particularly good mood. Motivation is wonderful, but it visits irregularly, sometimes without warning, and leaves without notice. A system says the person who has a sleep system, same wind down routine every night, phone away at certain hour, lights dimmed, sleeps better, not because they're disciplined. They sleep better because the body has learned the cues, the system to train the body. The person with a work system, a clear start time, a brief to do for the day written the night before, a defined stopping time gets more done. Not because they're more talented, because the system removes the daily chaos of where do I ever begin. So, here's what I would like you to do today. Today's exercise, today's reflection. And you can do this today quietly in 15 minutes. Choose one area of life, just one, and design a simple, repeatable system for it. And here are four areas to consider. One, work or household management. Yeah, that can be an important area. What is one part of your day that feels chaotic? What simple structure, same time, same sequence, same small steps would bring it on? Study or learning. If you want to keep your mind active, reading, learning a language, practicing a skill, when exactly will it happen? After which existing habit will you attach it? Fitness, not a grand fitness plan, just one physical habit. When does it happen? For how long? What comes before it as a cue? And sleep. What is your current wind down? Is there one? Could you design a 20-minute evening routine that tells your body, we are done for today? Rest is coming? The system doesn't need to be elaborate. In fact, the simpler it is, the better. The system is the one you'll actually follow. Write it down. Just a few lines. Give it a week. And there's something I find deeply comforting about systems. And I want to leave you with this thought. We spend a lot of our lives waiting to feel a certain way before we act. waiting to feel motivated, energized, ready, inspired. And on the days when we don't feel those things, which is most days, honestly, we feel like we have already failed before we have begun. But a system says something kinder. It says you don't have to feel anything, you just have to show up. And showing up in the same place, the same time, doing the same small thing is quietly, slowly, gently the most powerful act a human being can perform. Because systems are not about controlling your life, they're about feeling it. So when the important things run on a system, your health, your rest, your growth, your phone, your mind is freed for what truly matters, for presence, for joy, for the unplanned, beautiful, surprising moments that no system could ever schedule. The traffic light handles the crossroads so you can enjoy the journey. So here's your call to action. Today, not someday, sit down for 15 minutes and design one system for one part of your life. Write it on paper, keep it simple, give it a name if you like. My morning system, my wind down routine. Yeah, making it real, make it yours. And then for 1 week, trust it. Follow it, not perfectly, but consistently. Because you deserve a life that doesn't run on chaos and crossed fingers. You deserve a life that works for you. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.